So within this War Within update, all the weapons, all of the cosmetics, the Czar, the Twin Roga, the Kashag, even the Broken Scepter, we all got the good stuff in this update that we got a whole bunch of shit doing. But now I'm going to talk about a certain thing that they also added onto this, and that is Riven Mods. Now, Riven Mods, you could get them in the sorties. You can also get one free one to you by completing the War Within. Now, as you all know, I got a Riven mod, the one that I unlocked, which is one for the Sentinel, which is for the Worm. But during out the time that I've been playing, I managed to pick up quite a few Riven mods, some that are good, and there's one that I've actually gotten that most people are gunning for, and I actually managed to get it at a good price. Now, as you can see, I'm going to show you guys my Riven capacity. I got 9 of these. But these are Riven mods. And as you look at some of these Riven mods, some of them I maxed out, some I didn't. But as far as with how Riven mods work, and at the same time you're going to need Kuva, which you're going to need to re-roll to get better results and all that stuff. Here's the thing with these Riven mods, and this brings into the question that I have based on this video. Are they good or are they bad? Now, it's up to you. How do you determine it based on the stats that you want for a specific mod for a certain weapon? The Riven mods are placed in this game so that the low tier weapons will have a chance against the top tier weapons or the elite weapons of this game. It ain't really there to boost up just high tier weapons and forget about the low tier ones. There are Riven mods in this game for the certain low tier weapons, and it makes it either good or close to great depending on the stats. Now, as you can see here, this is just the first of many. I picked up the Grinlock one from people in the trade chat. As you can see, I've been using my platinum and stuff. This is the Grinlock. Not much people use it. I use it on occasion because I know how good the weapon is. If you mod it right, build it right, all that stuff. This gives it status chance, weapon recoil, but negative impact. I'm not concerned about impact that much, but trust me, that weapon recoil, that negative 14.8 recoil, weapon recoil, this is just unranked. This is really good for the Grinlock. And at the same time, that 14.3% status chance, that is nice. Especially for the Grinlock, it will one-shot proc status, you die. This is actually really good. Now this is the laser rifle one. This is the one, it gives you 192.4% puncture, punch through, and you got flight speed. This is actually for the Worm. This was the mod that I picked up when I was doing the War Within, and I finished and I completed it. Did the challenge for it. This is what it unlocks. So I was like, I'm going to keep it, whatever. I'm just going to keep it for my own personal use because I like using the Worm. And give it the laser rifle on this. It's decent. It really does its work. Now, pick up the Latron one. This is the Latron one. This gives you 90% status chance. And it also gives you a negative on the weapon recoil. This is 91.3. So technically, the Latron, whether I put on the Latron Prime or the Wraith, it will be like a Soma pretty much because of its negative recoil. It won't recoil at all. That whole kick that it keeps doing, it won't even do it anymore. And that status chance will push it up to 100% once I put in the other dual stat mods in it. So this Riven mod is good for the Latron, and I just ran a mission, and 3 guys besides me, all of them was rocking Latron Primes, and it's because they have a Latron Riven mod in their setup. So this is what I'm talking about. It will make certain weapons people use it again because of the Riven mods, which is why I say it's a good thing. Now we get to the Riven mod that most people are gunning for in the trade chat. They want to get a Soma Riven mod. Luckily for me, I only had to roll this one time. And I managed to get the one that has for critical chance. Gives me 100.5% damage to go along with the 58.6 on the heat. It'll take away the capacity, but the capacity really don't matter because you still have over 100 and change on it. So, I mean, you gotta look at this. Just check this out. Let me take out the Tsar right quick, and I'm gonna show you the Soma, because I put a former in it just because I want to put the stuff in it. Right? Look at this. You're looking at 100% critical chance, or like 100.5% critical chance, and I put hammer shot there so I can get that critical damage up. That's why you see it at 8.4. The heat is there, the damage is there, because that's overall damage. So you're talking about adding another semi-serration on it, and then you're talking about magazine capacity. Yeah, it's still 146. But as long as I have over 100 ammo in the clip, I'm still going to be wiping out enemies. That's nothing. Right? So, I actually got a good mod here. So, I'm holding on to this. Alright? So, let me go back and show you guys the other Riven mods. Because, like I said, that was just for the Soma. That shit is really nice. Now, this one, this is for the Tsar. And this is really good. It gives you 111.1% toxin, 73% fire rate, negative 40.9% flight speed. Now you could cancel that out by putting in terminal velocity, because terminal velocity gives you 60%, so you could cancel out that 40, so you could have an additional 20% flight speed to yourself. So it's still a good mod on the Tsar, and at the same time too, toxin. And usually I like going corrosive anyway, so it's going to boost it even more. So I got a good Riven mod here. I'll be getting good ones because I know which weapons I'm going to be using that are good or average at best. Now, the Volcar Vesilis. This gives you 292% damage, 105.9% zoom, negative 29.5% against the Grineer. Now you may think, oh damn, he's not gonna do much against the Grineer. I'm gonna make my elements do the damage. I don't need to worry about that. The zoom, I barely zoom in on the Volcar anyway. And at the same time to boot, I be at a distance when I'm sniping anyway. So again, I don't need to zoom with the Volcar. It's already zoomed in anyway because it's gonna give me 105.9% zoom anyway. But that damage, 292.7% damage. Oh yeah, this is it right here. I'm good. I'm set. Okay. Now this is the Stinger one. I have this unranked because again, I don't have the endo to max this out. But I could get endo anytime. I could get endo in my sleep. That's nothing. But this is for puncture, damage to Grineer, and ammo max. This is for the Sentinel. I may sell this. I may just keep it. Or I could just have it there just so that it looks good. It's entirely up to me. I'll just leave it there. Now, I left these two out for a reason. I left these out so I could explain it because I left it for last. This one, though. If you look at it, 39% ammo maximum, plus 40.7 damage against the Grineer, 100.4% critical damage. Now, if you don't know what that is, then I was talking to my friend about this. I was like, dude, you don't understand. 100.4% critical damage. I'm not talking about crit. I'm talking damage. So when you look at the Rubico now, with the stuff that I put on, where is it? Because I actually had a build for it. Unless I have to put it back in. But here it is. Where is it? Now, just look at that and think of the possibilities of what kind of freaking damage that shit will be doing now. 62 0.5% critical chance. That's gonna be there, right? I put hammer shot on so I could get that critical damage. I didn't do it for the status. I did it for the damage. Put bladed rounds in here. Now I could take this out and put this in there. Where is it? I could have the affected clip here, and I could just go for my same corrosive against the infested. I could leave it like this. So, this replace my bladed rounds. Because you're looking at that critical right there. The critical multiplier. 11.4. Just think about that. 11.4 crit multiplier. And at times I be zooming in so I can get more of a crit on it. I'm like, dude, this shit is crazy. I mean, this shit is really crazy. Just thinking about it. Look, 11.4. I think I said that like at least 3 times. I'm like, dude, this shit is a freaking monster now. Not even a monster. It's not even of this world right now when it comes to crit damage. Alright, that's the Rubico now. I could go into a higher comp, play with people, and they'll wonder how I keep killing them so damn fast. My critical damage has been increased by these Riven, the Riven mod that I have. Alright. And then I have this one here. You see, it has 5.4% reload speed. This is good for the Rubico too, because again, it has a slow recoil. We all know how slow it reloads and all that stuff. Then you add heat on this, and at the same time too, I have punch through on this. So this is fine. I could have another build where I could just have this in there, and I could still have my elements. Because remember, this is a dash. So all I gotta do is just put this on the other side and still have my elements there. It'll still be good. So I don't need to do anything. Okay? So just looking at this, as far as with Riven Mods as a whole, it's good for the aspect that the weapons that are low tier, you could get a Riven mod and it has some relevancy, or even better. The part which is bad is that when you use weapons like the Soma now, or the Tankor, I believe there's one for the Dread, you know, those top tier weapons, once you get the right stats, and this is the part that I'm going to talk about too when it comes to rolling with cycling Riven mods. It says 1,200 needed. Once you start the process of one Riven mod, I believe, let me see. Let me take this off. You start off at 900, as you see. It says insufficient 900. You could tell by your Kuva number just by going over here. I have 72. But when you roll, you have to consume Kuva. If you don't get what you want, you could go back to the original stats that it has. And even if you max it out, like, see how this is maxed out? If I was to roll it again, it will not be unranked. It will still be maxed out. It's just that the stats will change. This is another part that I'll say as to where Riven mods are bad depending on the roll that you do. It's so RNG that you may get a variety of stats that will not make any sense. Like, you'll have some that it will decrease like damage for a certain weapon that needs damage. Like, why would I want to have a Riven mod that decreases the damage of a weapon that needs damage? So you'd be like, damn, I wasted Kuva to roll something that I need damage on, but it takes it away. So it's like back to Kuva farming and all that stuff. And at the same time with Kuva, it's necessary to have a booster on, because when you have a booster on, you'll have at least 1,290 Kuva per run, or you could get between 550 to 700 Kuva without a booster. So, and at the same time, when people want to roll these, you gotta farm that Kuva. So all in all, as far as with Riven Mods, they're good and bad at the same time, because you ask somebody on the trade chat, yo, Soma Riven Mod, at best they will want to sell that to you for like at least 350, 400, because again, you want that crit. And as far as with that Soma, like I showed you guys, you know, how can you argue, or how can you contest 100.5% critical chance? And I have hammer shot in there. If you still have your hammer shot, put it on your Soma to get that critical multiplier to 8.4. Alright? So like, how can you argue that? And at the same time, you get heat on top of this. You get heat plus the damage overall. It takes away magazine capacity. Fine, I still have over 100 and change. It's not like they took away 200. So it's so both-sided, because it's good and bad. But depending on what you get as far as with, you know, the stats, because you have 4 stats. You may have 3 positive, 1 negative, or you could have 3 positive, or you could have 2 positive or 2 negative. I've seen people have Riven Mods that have 2 negative in it. But it depends on the negative that it's taken away based on the weapon. That's what you gotta look at when it comes to these Riven Mods. It's like you gotta be careful. You have to know the weapon, how it functions, and how it will work based on the role of the Riven Mod, and how it's going to work into your playstyle. So there's a lot to go into it, and at the same time too, when you roll it, you will use Kuva for this. So you have to be like, should I roll this or should I hold it? Should I hold this or should I just roll it? You know, see if I can get a better roll. Because see, this one has 3 stats. This one has 4. No, not this one has 4. This one has 4. This has 3. This has 2. The Latron, that has 2. So it's so RNG, and I think my friend described it best when he said it's like a slot machine, where you get a chance, like, oh, it may be 2 stats, it may be 3, it may be 4. That's just how it is. But it all depends on what you want on the weapon that you're gonna use this Riven Mod on. That's all it comes down to. It still comes down to personal preference when it comes to the stats of this. Because some people, like for the Soma, some people may not want these stats. They may want to have reload. They may want to have damage, but they want to probably have critical damage on their Soma, because 75% may be more than enough for them, so they don't worry about critical chance. Me, I'm the opposite. I want the critical chance. That damage, heat is fine. And at the same time, too, the magazine capacity, that's non-existent, because again, I have over 100 ammo. I'm good. You know, and at the same time, too, as far as with that heat, you can have this in there since it's heat. You can have that on. And you can have Hellfire in there. You can have these 2 in there. So it's not like they'll say, oh no, you can't have this in here because this already has heat. No. You can have it in there. So that's a good thing to note. And at the same time too, just by having this in there, I already made gas. I already made gas, so I could put back this in there and just have a full gas build. So these Riven Mods, man, is good and at the same time bad. And you have to also take into account, if you have a naked Riven Mod, you're gonna have to do certain challenges. Some are easy and some are just freaking ridiculous, where there's some where you're not supposed to kill any enemies. And then there's some where you have to kill 5 sentients, do killing blows to 5 sentients. You'll be like, what do you mean by killing blow? Do I have to literally kill them But then at the same time too, they have additives. They'll add something to it. Like you gotta have a key on, either a hobble or what is it? Decay, something. They'll add something to it, and at the same time too, they want you to do not a defense, an interception by yourself with a hobbled key. Level 30 enemies. So the challenges, man, it's a little bit out there, and you're wondering on the interception, how am I able to run around, get these points while having a hobble key on? There's a way around it. You gotta have a certain frame in order to do it, but again, if you ask a new player coming in, like, yo, you have to do an interception, hobble key, you gotta complete that. And also, a part with that additive too, you can't go down if that is a part of it. If it doesn't, you're fine. But if that's on it, good luck with that. But as far as with these Riven mods, you could say it's neutral, good and bad. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's garbage. It's bad. Just get rid of it. Me, I'm neutral with it. I'm neutral. So let me know what y'all think as far as with these Riven mods. What Riven mods did y'all get? Because as you see, these are the Riven mods I have on me now. These Riven mods, for me personally, are great. Except for this one. But, you know, the other ones, 8 out of 9, you know, these are good. These are good. And I like how the visuals they have on it, too. They actually show you that this is a serration. This is for the Grineer. Then you have that one, which is for Zoom. You know, it keeps flowing by over and over with their visuals. So I actually like it. As you see, that's the one with the Zoom. So I actually like it. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know what kind of Riven mods y'all have. I want to see some weird ass stats. You know, so I'll catch y'all later, man.